I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian to Mars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Relax.
Alright, welcome everybody to Making Magic Happen, brought to you by REW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I am Zach, and today we're following up on our Titan Vial episode. So I did an episode with Harlan, where we played, I think it's Francisco Paulus's, sorry if I got the name wrong, his Titan Vial creation. We called it Titan Vial. It's a Titan deck, Vial, Aether Vial, all sorts of craziness happening. I liked some of what it was doing and didn't like some of what it was doing. So I got the brewer's itch and sat down and decided to come up with a similar deck that was doing some different stuff. So now we've got a Naya Titan deck. The list yesterday had 27 lands and 4 Aether Vials. So pseudo 31 mana sources. I've just cut the Aether Vials for lands. So I just have 31 lands. And I think that's probably right. I could be convinced I should have 32, but I think 30 or 31 is closer to the right number in a Dryad Titan deck that's playing this card, Wrenn Six, because Wrenn Six is going to be very good at filling my hand up with lands, which is all I want to do anyway. So I have Wrenn Six here. Its plus is basically like a Crucible of Worlds, I guess you'd say. I can return a land from my graveyard to my hand. But it's a 2-mana Planeswalker. It can do that every turn, which is really powerful. And it has a minus. It can deal 1 damage to any target, which, not that big a deal, but there are some decks that's really, really strong against, like Goblins, for instance. It's really annoying to get a Wrenn Six in play on the other side of the table. And this got an ultimate that, in most decks, would win the game. In this deck, maybe not as much. It says instant and sorcery spells you control have retrace, which means I can discard a land from my hand to cast them again from my graveyard. We only have 4 of them in the deck. It's exactly 4 Eladamri's Call. So basically if I ult, I can just, and I've drawn an Eladamri's Call, I can just discard a land to pay 2 and tutor for any creature in my deck repeatedly. Which is like it gives lands like a really broken cycling, I guess. Which I don't even know if that's that good, but we're going to find out. We're going to see. The point is that we're playing Wrenn just for the plus, because realistically, the ultimate's threatening, and like a deck that ignores Wrenn is going to get Eladamri'd out of the game. But all of that said, we're going to win with Field of the Dead and Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, and that's what Wrenn's here to do. So, we're a Primeval Titan deck. We want to ramp into Primeval Titan. We want to cast it. We want to go hard with it. That's the plan. Dryad of the Elysian Grove is happening here too. Lets us play more lands. You know what? I think we're supposed to up. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking, let's go down to 3 Eladamri's Call. Let's play 2 Explore. The Alex Bertoncini special. I explored. Apologies if that is in bad taste, but I think that's funny. Okay, so we got 2 Explorers now. The one card I really want to check out here is Elvish Reclaimer. So Elvish Reclaimer looked awesome in the video yesterday, and specifically its interaction with Flagstones of Trocare was very, very good. Elvish Reclaimer, 1 mana, 1/2. You can pay 2 mana, tap it, and sacrifice a land to search your library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. So you're sacrificing a land to search for a land, which doesn't sound that good, right? Not card advantage, not ramp. It's not doing anything. But Crop Rotation's a broken legacy card they printed one time and decided it was too good to ever print again. And as it turns out, when you have lands that do things more than tap for mana, this effect is really powerful. And in this deck, Valakut the Molten Pinnacle is the type of card that when you want it is just the best possible thing you could possibly have, and when you don't want it is just not that good, right? And it's the same thing with Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead as your 7th land is really broken. Field of the Dead is your 2nd land, nah. And you want to have enough Field of the Deads that you can reasonably have access to them and make a ton of zombies, but you don't want to have so many Field of the Deads that all your lands come into play tapped and you just have color issues because it's colorless, right? And Reclaimer kind of fixes that. I have 2 fields, and because I have Reclaimer to just consistently find them, and Primeval Titan, it's very reasonable I'm going to have access to both fields in most of the games I play. And the same with the Valakutes. And the reason Reclaimer is actually super good in this deck is Flagstones of Trocare. So Flagstone says when Flagstones, it's a legendary land, comes into play, taps for white, right? Basically a plains from that aspect. The thing that's doing different is when Flags of Trocare is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Notice it says plains card and not basic plains card. So I can get a basic plains, but I can also get this Indatha Triome, either these Temple Gardens or a Sacred Foundry, right? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plains in the deck I can go tutor up, which I think is enough. Really, if I get up to 6 mana, I can cast my Primeval Titan. That's really all that matters. But I've got 6 plains, so I can tutor up some lands, and then when you sacrifice this with Elvish Reclaimer, you still get to tutor up another land. So if I sacrifice the Flagstones, I get to tutor up my Indatha Triome that taps for green-white, my Sacred Foundry if I need red mana, and I can go get a Field of the Dead or a Valakut, which I think is going to be really powerful. So we'll see how that goes. I've got these Explorers in here. The last thing I got here is the Eladamri's Call package, which Eladamri's Call realistically is going to get Titan most of the time, but I got some other sweet cards here to get value from. I've got an Oracle Moldaya if I need to hit some land drops, even though I'd probably go for Dryad instead, but I still got one Oracle. Maybe that one's wrong. Maybe we'll see through testing that this should be a different bullet. We've got an Elder Gargaroth against the Prowess decks, just really good against aggressive decks. This body just brick walls everything because it's a 6/6 Vigilance Reach that when it attacks or blocks, gains 3 life or makes a 3/3 or draws me a card. There are some decks this card is just absolutely insane against, and there's some decks that are playing Path to Exile that it's just not very good at all. But when we want it, it's really good, and we'll be able to find it. We got Tireless Tracker to get value if we need it. Wrenn Six plus Tireless Tracker goes real hard, okay? We've got Knight of Autumn. Maybe you need to gain 4 life in a pinch. Maybe you need to destroy an artifact or enchantment. Perfect. We got Knight of Autumn for that. We got Eternal Witness if maybe we need to get something back out of the graveyard. And a Corso Crewfix is a fine blocker that can, help us get some card advantage with lands off the top. I could buy that there are some Silver Bullet creatures I didn't find or that I should be playing, and we'll figure out as we play if maybe we want something that we don't have, but we'll get there. The other thing that's really sweet is Wrenn Six is really powerful, but it needs you to have lands in the graveyard, right? And this deck is okay at that. I have a Horizon Canopy that can go to the graveyard. I've got 5 fetch lands that go to the graveyard themselves. I've got a Blast Zone and a Ghost Quarter that can go to the graveyard. I got an Indatha Triome I can cycle if I need to. And I also have Elvish Reclaimer. So Elvish Reclaimer is obviously great when it's sacrificing Flagstones or Trocare, but it's a little worse when you're sacrificing like a Stomping Ground to go get a Valakut. It's fine. It's still good in the game plan of the deck, but not as good as when you're sacrificing Flagstones. But if I'm also redrawing the card I sacrificed with Wrenn, then it becomes pretty good, and that's pretty interesting to me. So in the sideboard here, we've got 2 Huntmasters against aggressive decks. We've got 2 Damping Spheres against, Tron or Storm-based decks. We've got 3 Lightning Bolts and a Path to Exile for aggressive decks. Note that the Lightning Bolts are split over the Path, even though I think Path is slightly better because Lightning Bolt is an actual win con with Wrenn's ult. And I think this deck is going to struggle enough with Wrenn's ult that I'm happy to have access to Lightning Bolt in the 75. I've got Celestial Purge in the sideboard. It's going to hit any red or black thing, but it's mostly for the card Ashiok Dreamrender because that card is a very large problem for this deck. We've got an Aven Mind Sensor to stop opponents from searching, which is a good Silver Bullet with Eladamri's Call, and same with Eidolon of Rhetoric as, pretty good against like a Snapcaster Mage deck or a Storm deck. Just a nice Silver Bullet to be able to get. And I got 3 Veil of Summers. If we play against a Counterspell deck, I'll really want that. Oh, you know what? I screwed up. This deck is also supposed to have a Cavern of Souls. That is not good that I don't have one of those. Alright, I'm going to cut the Windswept Teeth. We just have 4 Wooded Foothills now. But we do need a Cavern of Souls to make sure our Titans resolve. We can find it with Elvish Reclaimer, so 1 is going to be pretty good. We can pick it up with Wrenn if it gets destroyed, so I think having one cavern is going to be nice. Alright. Let's get to battling. Alright. We're here for round 1. Looks like we have lost the die roll, which is unfortunate, but yikes. I don't think this is a keep. 6 lands on the Domri Skull. Although, maybe it is. Maybe we're just supposed to get a Dryad and go to town. I could actually buy that. A 6 land hand with a Dryad, it's pretty good. And all we need is another call or to draw a Dryad or a Titan, and this hand's like actually very good. This is interesting. This is quite interesting. It blows my mind that this should be a keep, but I really kind of feel like it might be. I'm going to mulligan, though. I think I have better 6s. And, yeah, this feels like a... Well, Is this a better 6? Mana's kind of awkward here. I do think I'm supposed to keep this one, though, and definitely bottoming a Grazer. And given that we're on the draw, any green source makes this hand ridiculously good. If I don't hit a green source, it's much worse. But any green source would make this hand amazing. I even got the Grazer to block for my Wrenn, which is just excellent. Opponent plays a Field of the Dead. Okay. So, a lot of Titan going around, apparently. Second Wrenn. That's not that good. First one, really good. Second one, less good. I was torn if the deck was supposed to have 3 Wrenns or 4 Wrenns. I could buy either direction. You could tell me, yeah, this is supposed to be a 3 Wrenn deck, and that might be right. I don't know. That one I'm going to have to experiment with more to know. Ooh. Amulet of Vigor. Don't love that. Oh no. Opponent's about to have a very explosive turn. Very scurry. Very scary. Imagine they pick up the Field of the Dead, although I guess they could pick up the Growth Chamber. Well, they're not tapping it, so they're probably picking up the field. Explore. Second Amulet? Oh my god, we're dead. Well, that's a GG. Opponent's going to cast a turn 3 Titan on the play, and we are going to have played tapped lands. Yep, just played some tapped lands. Okay. I'm gonna chill over here with my tap lands. Look them in the eyes while they double amulet to kill me immediately. Maybe they don't have it, though. Maybe they just kept a double amulet hand. And that's just all they did. And it just doesn't have any payoff. Could be the case. They could also just be figuring out the right way to sequence here so that they kill me this turn. Both are terrifying, if we're being honest. Opponent in the tank. I really hope this isn't one of those I'm in the tank and thinking of the best way to kill you lines. I mean, you get all the time you want, so I really shouldn't be complaining about that, but also, like, come on. Please no. Please no. Alright, I also forgot to switch this. Here we go. Alright, I am going to concede to Titan. Our hand is not beating this. If they cast the Titan. Do you has? I assume you have Titan based on the fact that you played the bounce land as your only land drop. Arboreal Grazer? I mean, that is like a ritual, essentially. That is a ritual. It makes, when you have a bounce land in hand and 2 amulets out, Arboreal Grazer makes 3 mana. Put Field of the Dead in play? Oh, so they just wanted the field before they cast the Titan, presumably? That has to be the thing they're doing here, right? Otherwise you would have just ritualed, I guess. Or at least I assume you would have. Karn. Ah, so they kept a hand that just doesn't... Huh, well... This is going to be really bad. They're going to get a liquid metal coating and start stone raining my lands. Yep, I'm just going to concede. I was dead to basically any payoff there. The fact that it's Karn is good enough. Liquid metal coating with that card in play. On the play is going to be too tough. On the draw, I think I could come back, but on the play, going to be too tough. Well, we do get Damping Spheres, which is excellent. I could also bring an Eidolon of Rhetoric. I actually think that one's pretty good against them. I think Courser is going to be mostly bad. I like Oracle. I don't like Gargaroth. I think the Grazers are decent. The rest of this seems okay. I think I can cut all Wrenn. Wrenn's good, but I don't need 4. I think this is going to be strong. Yeah, Eidolon, like, varies between being very good and medium, but with their really explosive turns, it is good against Amulet to just slow them down. How is this for a hand? Flagstones is really punishing us here. If it was any other colored land, this hand would be excellent. I cannot cast any of my spells. I think this is a mulligan. It's close. Alright, how do we feel about this hand? This hand is actually better than it looks, I think. Even though it looks pretty bad. I'm going to keep and bottom this. So if we draw land, it's good. We're going to use Reclaimer to fix. A little slow, but it is what it is. Elf Warrior. Yeah, I don't think these share any types, so... I'll play my uncountable elf. This is a Dryad Nymph. It's an Elf Warrior. Yep, no shared type there, unfortunately. Ooh, Castle Garenbrig, quite nice. So, here... Oh, that enters tapped. I screwed that up. I screwed that up really bad. Ugh. Well, what I was supposed to do there was play Radiant Fountain, sacrifice one of my lands to get a Stomping Ground. And then the castle comes into play next turn and I can cast Wrenn, pick up the land, make my land drop. Pretty annoying. I screwed that up. Because that's not something you want to screw up. But we can cope. We can cope. For some reason I thought this game to play tap or untapped, which is just not good on my part. Just not very good at all. Yep, now we're falling behind to another Titan deck. The frustrating thing too is like we could start just like ghost quartering them if I just had okay mana, but I do not. A land here would be a very good draw still. If I could draw a land. You know, 31 lands and every time you want to draw one you don't, which is pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Wrenn has looked a lot worse than it seemed like it would after playing just a few games. And opponent's just carning me. Alright. Don't know how I beat any of this. I probably do not. Assume we're liquid metal coating again. I at least have Wrenn to kind of salvage this, but yeah, it's not great. I would really like to draw a land next turn. We're playing 31. We should at some point draw them. It feels like. I imagine we will draw them somewhere. I mean, I've screwed this whole thing up, honestly, by playing this tapped on turn 2. Okay. That's not exactly what I wanted, but it plays. Okay. I guess I'll pick this up. It's probably supposed to actually pick up Cavern, but sure, we'll gain some life. We're going to sacrifice this. We'd like a Ghost Quarter. I could also start Flagstoning, but I think I need the Ghost Quarter. I could also Valakut. I don't think that's crazy. They will start Liquid Metal coating my Valakut, so I think I'm supposed to Ghost Quarter first. And now I'm going to pick up my Radiant Fountain. Nice. Alright, so Karn's out here. They can cast a Titan this turn too, which would be pretty annoying. But next turn is going to go pretty well for us. I can get a Valakut with this, then play 2 lands using Wrenn, and then 6 something. If they Liquid Metal coating me here, that becomes a bit more tenuous. And they're going to. And I imagine they're going to hit my Gruul Turf here. That makes the most sense as a play pattern from the opponent. But it's not the end of the world. Yep. And if that's their whole turn, I'm okay with it. I mean, obviously it's not, like, ideal for me, but also, like, I have Dryad plus Wrenn going, so it's not, like, stopping me resource-wise by any means. Okay, that was their whole turn. So now things actually look pretty good. I actually don't want this land that badly. So I can tap this for green, tap this for white, call. I want a Primeval Titan. I'm going to play this. I guess I don't even need to sacrifice it. Play this. Yes. No, I should sacrifice it just because it's better to pick up than Gruul Turf with where I'm going with this deck. So I want to get the non-plains ones because Flagstones might be a thing we go towards somewhat soon, and also our mana just doesn't really matter at the moment. Give me that Foothills, please. So now I can call on their turn or sacrifice Reclaimer. Like, use Reclaimer to protect from Liquid Metal coating. If they target something with Liquid Metal coating and then go to plus it with Karn, I can just sack it in response, and then this Karn Liquid Metal coating thing doesn't work. So Reclaimer is protecting me from the Stone Rain effect of Karn, and in the process of doing so, it's going to get me a Field of the Dead or a Valakut. And either way, opponent's going to really, really take the heat next turn. I mean, that's the case. And you can kind of see how this matchup goes. I think I'm better in the long game. I have better tools in the long game than them. But Amulet is just much, much more explosive than we are. The card itself, Amulet of Vigor, and all the bounce lands make them very much more explosive. We just have a better grindy tool in Wrenn. And I think Wrenn is a much better grindy tool than Karn in these decks. I think it is better. It's just this deck can't use Wrenn very well because it doesn't have the Reclaimer package yet. Which I think is, you know, an interesting point, I guess. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe Amulet Titan could start incorporating this package. Maybe that's where I built my deck wrong, is that I should be more Amulet based. I don't know. This card seems really strong to me, though. I'm not going to lie. it's been very, very impressive. And even, like, we just haven't had a flagstones here, and it's still very impressive that I can just tutor up the Valakutes I need. Just make sure that when my Titan comes down, it's going to be super lethal. Like, it's protecting me from opponents stone raining me, which I think is also pretty reasonable. Yeah, I mean, this card impressed in the video yesterday, and it's impressing again today. And this is without even the flagstones. The flagstones ramp package is ridiculous, too. I could see maybe, like, we have too many flagstones. Maybe it's supposed to be, like, a 3 flagstones deck, and then I can fit another fetch land in to make Wrenn slightly better. I could see that. Although, Wrenn with 2 flagstones does kind of work, because I can keep picking up the flagstones, but maybe it's slightly better to go a different way. So they just plussed on nothing because, yeah, they understand that the liquid metal coating thing doesn't work. So I guess instead what they're going to do here is like upkeep something to stop me from tapping it for mana, which makes sense. I'm going to sacrifice this Radiant Fountain though. Get that out of here. I would like 1 Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, please. And we got the Dryad, so this is going to be bad for the opponent. This is going to be quite bad. Quite bad indeed. I think this is lethal. I'm not sure, but, like, I'm pretty sure this is lethal. I guess if they stop exactly Castle Garenbrig with liquid metal coating, then maybe it's not lethal. I think it's probably still going to be pretty bad. Beast within the Valakut. Okay, so they brought in their sideboard tech. And that's good here, but I've got a Wrenn Six in play. It ain't saving you, that's for sure. Wrenn Six is messed up. Okay, so I can actually just kill Karn here if I just attack. They just don't have enough blockers because Reclaimer's a 3/4. That's the other thing about this card that's, like, kind of messed up. It's just big. It's bigger than you think. And now this plan just doesn't work from the opponent. Alright, yep, and they conceded. And they see the writing on the wall. I get to kill Karn with the attacks, plus Wrenn, bring back Valakut, fetch 6 them, play another Reclaimer, call for something else. The next turn Titan is lethal. And that the Wrenn Reclaimer package looked real good that game, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I feel like I should have Path to Exile in the... Oh, I don't know why even Mind Sensor's not in. That one should definitely be in over Rhetoric. That is big punt. Hashtag punt. The one path is nice. It's very, very strong. I feel like we got a lot of really good sideboard cards here. Night of Autumn seems okay. I can see cutting Oracle. Oracle seems like maybe the worst card. I could also buy that Tracker against Karn is pretty bad. Yeah, I'll cut a Tracker on the draw. I think the value I want is just Wrenn Six. I could also buy that Eternal Witness should be the 4th Wrenn. Wrenn looked quite good there, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Alright, how about this hand? Well, I'm on the draw, and if it draws basically any untapped land, it's going to be excellent. I have 31 lands. The untapped number is not as high, but I got 2 draw steps for when I need them. Given that I have the forest to cast a Reclaimer on one, Wrenn and a Titan, and Eladamri's Call for Mind Sensor, I think this hand is a keep. I think it's a keep. And I really need to hope opponent doesn't have one of the nutty amulet starts, because this is a slow hand for sure. And that's gonna be, I mean, that's gonna be the problem with this deck, is if opponent goes like amulet into 2 bounce lands like they did in game 1, I'm just gonna die. Okay, well they might have it. Ooh, we drew an excellent land though. Very, very good. So, I kind of need to hope opponent doesn't go crazy here and cast like a super quick Titan. I need to get this Knight online. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, Teleria West as your turn is good for me. Still a little scary, but that's definitely better than Bounce Land in a Dryad. Now, if they explore, that would also be not great necessarily, but if this is just their whole turn, that's mostly okay for me. Alright, so now the question is it better to call or is it better to Wrenn? I could also leave up Reclaimer. I think it's very unlikely they kill me next turn. I think it's super unlikely they turn 3 Titan from this base. They could, but it's very unlikely. They need something like Azusa plus Grazer to do it from here, which just they aren't playing 4 of those cards apiece. It's not super likely they have both. I would believe they have like a Bounce Land and a Titan, but I think this is a turn 4 Titan and not a turn 3 Titan. And given that, I do think I want to end of turn call for Mind Sensor. Huh. I think that's better. This is close. You know, actually, given that I want a Knight anyway, just to make their Titan worse, maybe it is better. No, I'm going to call for Mind Sensor. I just don't need Wrenn quite yet. I'm not going to attack either because I want to bluff that I'm going to look for something. I want them to think that's what I'm doing, even though what I'm actually doing here is calling for Mind Sensor so that I can Mind Sensor them next turn and put them in a spot where their tutors don't work, their Titans don't work. Mind Sensor is really, really annoying for this deck. And they can beat it with a Beast Within, and Karn Walking Ballista kind of works too, but outside of that, they're not super likely to have stuff in their deck that's good against it. So Dryad, yep, Dryad makes sense. Dryad plus Grove would be good against it. Or not Grove. Dryad plus Garenbrig would be good against it. So I do want red-white here, just so I can cast my Wrenn. You get the Sacred Foundry. Yes. Would like one Eladamri's Call, please. And I will take an Aven Mind Sensor. And this turn I can go Mind Sensor. Next turn I can go Knight, kill either Amulet or Dryad, depending on what I think is slightly better. We'll find out, but I definitely want a Mind Sensor. If they have a Dismember, they do, and that's going to stink for me. But maybe they don't. The other thing that could be really awkward is if the Titan in their hand is a Summoner's Pact, they have to cast it now and then pay for it in their upkeep. And then, even the Titan they get isn't going to be all that great, because it might ramp them twice. It also might not ramp them at all. You never know. Oh, it was the Summoner's Pact. That's wonderful for us. That's very good news. Very, very good news indeed. So now they got to pay for this in their upkeep, which makes Summoner's Pact feel pretty bad. So their hand is Primeval Titan and 2 cards we don't know about. Alright. And I can hit their Amulet next turn. I'm still probably supposed to hit their Dryad, I would guess. Let's see what this turn entails, though. How many land drops do they hit? Turning off Valakut, I think, is going to be a pretty big deal. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. But if they don't hit lands here, I'm maybe supposed to hit Amulet because... No, it's still got to be Dryad, right? Dryad's just a much more scary card. I assume I have to hit Dryad here. Amulet is just way less terrifying with a Mind Sensor in play. If they can kill the Mind Sensor, Amulet becomes much more scary, but getting a bunch of... Oh, they're playing the Teleria West. That makes sense. Not going to use that one very effectively with a Mind Sensor in play. And this is why we have a Mind Sensor in the sideboard. It's kind of the beauty of playing this archetype. Well, not archetype, but this deck. It's kind of the payoff, right? Okay, so does Temple Garden change how I want to approach this turn? I still think it doesn't. I think I'm supposed to just Knight of Autumn, destroy target artifact or enchantment, goodbye Dryad of the Elysian Grove, play Field of the Dead tapped, and bash for 3. And next turn, I can play... Oh, I guess if I draw a land, I can play Oracle. Or I could just play Wrenn. Either way, I'm setting up to Titan. So opponent's going to Titan here. And that's not great for me. But they only get to look at their top 4. So it's also not the end of the world. They're by no means guaranteed to hit here. Mind Sensor's a problem. Now, if they don't have Titan, if they have something like Karn, this is going to be bad for me, certainly. I would not disagree with that. But I imagine that this is a Titan, based on how they've played. If it is Karn and they get Walking Bliss, that's really unfortunate. Nope, it is Titan. Okay, so let's see. Mind Sensor has this history of, like, you want it to work and then it kind of doesn't. So let's see how this works out. Keep in mind, they're only searching the top 4 cards of their library right now for 2 lands. Which this deck is pretty land heavy. Ah, they double hit? Come on! I mean, the deck's more than half land, so they're actually pretty likely to double hit, but... Come on! Oh boy. So are we transmuting here? Are we casting another Titan? They could maybe cast another Titan. No, they're 1 mana away from that, right? They could transmute. They are transmuting with a Mind Sensor in play. I respect it. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. I swear if they just show off like a Summoner's Pack, cast Summoner's Pack, get Titan, I'm going to be so mad. I will lose it on camera. Just freaking lose it. They revealed Vesuva. No, they copies my field. What the heck? Unreal. How do they hit like that? Teach me, opponent. That's unbelievable. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ugh. Oh boy. Alright, well. This is what it is. Land would be a great draw here. Ooh. Well, that's a land, but it's not the land I necessarily want. How am I supposed to go about this? So, I could just Oracle here. If there's a land on top of my deck, I can still play Wrenn. I could also just Wrenn and get the second field so that my Titan is much better than their Titan. That's definitely a reasonable place for me to go. I can Oracle just to make sure I get up to 6, and then next turn I can maybe go Titan plus Wrenn, which would be pretty good. How good... Given that I don't have a Dryad, I think the best play here is going to be... man, casting Wrenn second is tough. The question is, do I shock? I think I don't shock. I want to see what's on top of my library, I think. So I'm going to play Oracle. It's Explore. Well, that's kind of annoying. So is bouncing a land here good? Like, should I copy a Simic Growth Chamber or a Golgari Rot Farm? I think the answer is probably no. I think the answer is probably no. Although, it's not terrible. Yeah, maybe it's actually good. With Field of the Dead in play and Oracle, yeah, it's actually probably not the worst. It is interesting, though, if this is actually good or not. So I think... I just can't do anything. I guess I'm just going to play this tapped. And Vesuva... It's still better to copy one of their lands. I think it's supposed to just be Castle Garenbrig, though, honestly. That strikes me as the best one to copy here. Nope, don't want to attack with that one. I want to attack with the Mind Sensor. Oh no, they have a reach blocker! No! It was a bad attack! No! Doesn't really matter, but... Still a bad attack. I thought it was going to be better than it was. It was not. So now I can actually go Wrenn plus Titan next turn because I copied Castle. I think that's good. Alright, they're transmuting again with a Mind Sensor in play. Can we whiff? Once, please? Or just like a basic forest, maybe? Gruul Turf. That's kind of a whiff. I'll take it. It's not really a whiff, but I'll take it. Opponent just straight playing through the Mind Sensor. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alright, I think I'm supposed to trade off my Knight here with the 2-2. I need to protect my life total. Because my Titan should be much better than their Titan, as it turns out. Mine can find any land. Theirs does not. Ah, they hit Field of the Dead and Haste Land? Come on! Ah. I mean, they were going to hit eventually, but like, come on, man. Mind Sensor, do something. This card never does anything, I swear. You're always like, it's going to do something, and it just doesn't do anything. Freaking Mind Sensor. Alright, I'm a block. So... the question is going to be, what does opponent have as a follow-up here? Because something like a Karn is going to end us really badly. And something like... is that just a castle? Okay, so we know their hand is Gruul Turf Castle. Okay, so their hand is probably just mostly lands. It's probably mostly lands. So, what do I want to do this turn? I think my turn starts by... alright. I'm going to just play the Triumph because I get to. Yep, always yield. Then, I think I play Wrenn. I'm going to plus, get back this Wooded Foothills. Play my Foothills. Get a Zombo. Sacrifice Foothills to get, I guess, Basic Forest at this point. Probably Basic Forest. It's got to be green. I will activate, and I will cast a Primeval Titan. Yes. And now I want to get Field of the Dead plus, what's the best get here? Blast Zone I don't think is terrible. I can blow up their Amulet. I don't think it's great either, but I don't think it's terrible. I could also be convinced I'm supposed to get Ghost Quarter to start hitting their fields and like Ghost... yeah, it's got to be Ghost Quarter because I have Wrenn too. I can Ghost Quarter them, well, once a turn, but yeah, once a turn, I guess. It's definitely Ghost Quarter though, because oh, you know what? I could have got Vesuva. Or wait, I'm already using Vesuva on Garenbrig. Alright. I mean, nope, this still doesn't work. I don't love my spot, but I think I'm in an okay spot. I think I've mostly stabilized. My Titan's slightly better than theirs because of Mind Sensor. It's not perfect, but it is better. Casting Summoner's Pact? Can you whiff? Please! You only get to look at 4 cards. There's no way you're hitting a Titan in 4 cards. There's no way. Azusa. That's still not great for me, but that's better than them hitting Titan for sure. That just is 3 zombies a turn, which isn't great. But I'm actually in a pretty good... I won the match! Yes! How did we win? I don't know how we won. I guess if they just... I don't know. Maybe they played their bounce land? That doesn't make that much sense to me. I mean, their attack's bad, right? I put 3 zombies in front of their Titan, kill it. Then I have 4 zombies left to eat 4 of their zombies. So they go down to 2. I take 2 this turn and block the other one with a Titan. And then next turn, I get to Ghost Quarter their field. Wrenn Six pick it up, Ghost Quarter their field. And then... yeah, so maybe if they didn't have a really crazy... I think maybe that... yeah, okay. So now we know. Now we know. This deck's busted. Wins the Titan Mirror. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll find out. But it feels good. It feels good so far. Alright, I'm going to play first here. Round 2. How are we feeling about this hand? This hand is a Wrenn Six with no lands that go to my graveyard. I think this is a mull. I think that one's a mull. Playing against Kahira the Orphan Guard as a companion. That's not one you see very much in Modern. I kind of have to assume that opponent is playing like a creatureless control deck. That would make the most sense to me. Unless you're playing cats, which, you know what, flank attack, if you're playing cats, hats off to you. You deserve it. Whatever goodness comes to you in life, you deserve all of it. So is this hand good? Well, I can't cast my Wrenn, which is a bit of a problem. And the rest of the hand, I don't know how much it does. I'm on the play, too. I think I'm going to mull again. I just have better hands in this deck. Like, this one, for example, is arguably better. I think I bottomed the Gargaroth and the Ghost Quarter. Yep. That's my read on this. And I'm just going to play a tap Field of the Dead. And the next turn, I need to decide between Wooded Foothills, get like a tap land, or Indatha Triome. Okay, so Kahira into Creeping Tar Pit. This feels like an Esper deck that doesn't have creatures in it. That would be my guess. Okay, so Grazer's actually a decent draw here. I mean, it's not great, but it isn't terrible either. Get to put this... yes, I get to put this land into play. It's a turn 3 Oracle on the play. I'm really hoping to draw another untapped land so I can save the Foothills as a shuffle for the top of my library for Oracle. That's what I would like here. We'll see if that's actually how this ends up working out. But that is what I would like here. Okay. That is instead a card that's not very good for me. But that's alright. So, I think I'm supposed to get Sacred Foundry just so I have all my colors. Although Plains isn't actually a color in the deck. I guess I have a Night of Autumn. I could probably have gotten Mountain there. Okay, Tracker's not ideal, but it's also not bad. If I can hit a land after Tracker, this is kind of nutty. Really hoping opponent can't kill... oh, they milled my Tracker. No! What is that? Come on, opponent! Rude. Eladamri's Call does play pretty good with these cards, though. It's a good shuffle thing. Man, milling Tracker. So rude. Primeval Titan, you say? Huh. I guess Call's a white card, so I'm really happy I got Foundry and that wasn't a Mountain now. I think I'm still supposed to just cast Call. Because if they counter it and I draw a Titan, that's fine. And if they don't counter it, I'm just going to put a Titan in my hand anyway. And then I get another look at lands. I could also get Dryad here. I could buy that Dryad here would be pretty good. I do think it's supposed to be Titan, though. And we hit the land. Perfect. No, I don't want to pay life here. Oh, we got another Titan, too? This is excellent. This is coming up quite well for us. I'm going to get in there. I feel like being cheeky. Oracle's looked really good here. This is a mold of 5 where Oracle plus Field of the Dead might win the game by itself. I would imagine opponent has answers to my Primeval Titan. I would believe that as the case. Alright, so they're milling my Titan. Opponent is on the aggro Thought Scour me plan. I don't know how good it is, but I do respect it. Cling to Dust my Wrenn Six. Sure. Sure, opponent. I got zombies coming next turn. That's happening. Whether you like it or not, there are zombos coming. They out here. And the second I draw a Dryad, you're getting Valakooted. It's going to be a lot of Valakoots just shooting. Just shooting all the things. Don't you dare try to bring out that Kahira Valakoot. Got Valakooted. Alright, so they're fetching main phase. Could be a lot of things. Feels like maybe a Thoughtseize? Fatal Push. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. And now this feels like... maybe like a Mana Leak here would make a lot of sense. Drown in the Lock makes a lot of sense. That's why they would do that. Like they were thought scouring me. In fact, Drown in the Lock makes a ton of sense here. I'm pretty sure that's what they have. The question is, can I play around it in any reasonable fashion? I don't know. I can wait. Opponent's under pressure for my 2/2, but like not that much pressure. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I think the read here is that they have 6 cards in hand. It feels to me like they definitely have Drown in the Lock because they set it up so they had exactly 6 cards in my graveyard, which makes a lot of sense to me. And opponent's actually under more pressure than we are because we have the field. So every land we draw is good. Every creature we draw is good here. Ooh, Explorer's not terrible. Redraw. It's not great, but it's not bad. And Elvish Reclaimer is actually pretty good. That is going to get a Cavern of Souls. That's the type of thing that they actually need to deal with. The question I need to ask is, do I actually run it out here and let them just deal with it, or do I wait and like get to double spell next turn? I think I want to just resolve one of these. I think that's going to be better if I wait. Opponent isn't doing anything yet. Maybe here they're going to like... oh, Shark Typhoon for 3? Sure. That's fine. That is A-okay. You know what? I guess thinking back, I was definitely supposed to play Reclaimer. I definitely was. I think I screwed that up. I feel like I messed that up. Ooh, E-Witness is good, though. So here... nope. I'm going to cast Primeval Titan. It's probably getting Cryptic or Drown in the Locked. One of those things for sure. Esper Charm to draw 2 cards? What? What? What just happened? Alright, so I've played around Drown in the Lock for 2 turns, and now I look like an absolute clown, because that was not right, assuredly. I guess they're going to path it with the trigger on the stack? Sure. Well, now I have very little hope this Reclaimer lives. Almost certainly not going to live. Oh, they just didn't path it. What is happening here? I just... honestly mind blown. Honestly mind blown. Okay, so definitely want a second Field of the Dead. We could actually just get 3 Field of the Deads here. That's probably better than a Cavern. I'm going to get Vesuva and Field, I think. I'm going to copy that Field, and that makes a lot of zombies. A lot of zombos. So now I don't really actually want to play this out because opponent's kind of in like sweeper or die territory. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Now that opponent's stuff just all resolved, I need to just be patient here, and they like have to cast a sweeper this turn or start going into the Cryptic Tap mode. One of those things is going to be the case, and either way it's going to give me a window next turn to start getting my Reclaimer going so I can bog them. Jace? What? I don't know what's in opponent's hand. Alright, that makes sense. They just had nothing relevant, and they're jacing for anything. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I had no idea what was happening there, but now the things add up. So you know what's really good against blue and black decks is the card Veil of Summer. I don't know if you've ever played with it or against it, but oh my god, is this card dumb. I could bring in Purge. This deck almost certainly has Ashiok, and that is something I should probably do. All that said, Bolt might actually be okay here. It's like a fine answer to Ashiok. I think I am going to bring in Huntmaster. It's like just a fine mid-range threat. Gargaroth seems quite bad. I don't like Knight of Autumn. And everything else seems good. Everything else seems good. I could cut a land here, like the Radiant Fountain seems like a fine cut. I think that's where I'm going to go. Got some extra cantrips and Veil. Yeah. It's not super crucial. I'm like really fast, so I've cut my Grazers, which is a card that demands even more land. So that's, I think, going to be fine. Well, how do we feel about this hand? This hand's not spectacular, but it's definitely a keep. These two cards just work too well together. I already have the Valakut, so this is a threat by itself, which is kind of the issue with the card, is when it's not a threat by itself, it's not very good, but when it is a threat by itself, it's like one of the best things you can be doing. So yeah, pretty easy tap Stomping Ground here. I could also play Valakut, that would be fine, but yeah, my play pattern here is going to be either tap Stomping Ground or tap Valakut, then the other one, so these two, and then fetch for Forest or Snow-Covered Forest, one of them, play Dryad, then Gruul Turf, they counter Dryad, next turn I'm just Dryading again. I'm going to play the Valakut. And we're just on Mono Jam Dryad plan. That's where we are at. They're clinging their own fetch land. Okay. You got it. You got it, my dude. I am probably supposed to play Flagstones next turn. That would be my read. I think it's better. Given that like we've seen Cling to Dusk, I'd rather preserve a fetch land for if I draw a Wrenn. Huh? If we draw the Wrenn? Sup? Alright, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Is it countered? Is it Aether Gusted? It is Aether Gusted. Would I like to draw it? No, I'm going to bottom that one. I have two more. I'll top the next one. I definitely want access to both of them, but not going to top that one. Not going to top that one. Going to force opponent to deal with all of the threats in succession, which they certainly could do. Their deck is probably not that bad at doing that. But also, I'm going to get to double spell in one of these turns, so that'll be good. Ooh, Reclaimer is very good. So now I actually have a choice of... I could go... Well, I can't go both of these, I guess. So then... I think I'm just going to cast the Dryad. See what happens. I imagine this is getting Cryptic. That is my assumption here. Dude, I am just absolutely stunned my opponent had the Cryptic. Who could have seen that coming? And now I'm going to get my Reclaimer in play. I did say I wanted to protect the foothills for Wrenn, but just being able to get Cavern of Souls I think is enough better here that I want to go that route. And if they do something ridiculous here... Oh. Okay, so they're just going to leave up Gust, I guess. Interesting. Oh man, that's excellent. Okay, so how do I want to lead? Something's getting Gusted here. What is better for me to have Gusted? It's just certainly Wrenn, right? I'm going to lead on Wrenn, see what opponent does. I imagine this gets Snap Gusted. Just not even close, going to get Gusted. Okay. I do actually want to draw Wrenn, though. It's... Ah, man, this is tough. Because I can't... I'm going to lose Wrenn if I play Dryad. And it honestly is probably better now that they've used that to just sacrifice the flagstones and just get my ramp in and get a cavern. And name Gigante. I'd like to name Gigante. Alright. Probably in Dothatrium, because that's definitely the worst one to draw. And then I would like a Cavern of the Souls. Yes. Bog also not terrible here. I could also get another Valakut, which isn't crazy. But I'm going to get Cavern. I'm going to name Giant. I would like to top Wrenn. And then I'm going to play my bounce land and pick up this forest. So we got Titan mana in play. Opponent thought scours me. Alright, fine. I lost the Wrenn, but at least that's their turn. Yeah, not the end of the world. It does feel like I'm going to get Cryptic here. That's kind of my read. So, I like the turn of play Field of the Dead, cast Titan. That seems very good to me. Seems very, very good to me. If they have a Gust, then they have a Gust, and that's unfortunate, but Cryptic doesn't stop this. Alright, Cryptic didn't stop it, as it turns out. Let's go ahead and get a Bojuka Bog and another Field of the Dead. Where's the Field of the Dead? There it is. I want to turn off Mystic Sanctuary here. I think that's pretty obvious. Well, maybe it's not obvious to a viewer, but I think to me it's pretty obvious because they have Gust, they have Cryptic, they have a lot of good things. They have a Cling to Dust they can use too. I think it's like a pretty good spot here to bog them and just make them cling or do whatever here. It feels like they might cling. Okay, they are clinging. So we've made their Mystic Sanctuaries worse. Their Cling Engine, yeah, they got another card out of it, but we've got value on the board, which is more important, honestly. And I even get to get in for 3 and put them at, you know, they're dead next turn without Wraths and or Cryptic taps. And when they tap out, I've got Dryad plus Activate Reclaimer to get a second Valakut. I just have lethal in my hand. Okay, well now I don't, given that the Reclaimer's gone. But I'm still in a pretty good spot. If I find another Valakut, then I definitely have lethal. Oh, Tracker? Hello, Tracker. How you doing, buddy? Alright, let's start with the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. I guess I can play Tracker too. I guess I should do all of these things. Alright, fetch land, make 2 zombies, draw a card, 3U, get a clue. This is, whew! This is the spice. Would I like to? Yes, I would. I would also like to always yield. So opponent just has to Supreme Verdict every turn. That's just where they're at. And they're going to 2. And if they Supreme Verdict, like, it needs to be Cryptic Lock too, because I can fetch end of turn. Yes. Alright, I'm going to pass. They can't discard spell me at all. They need to Verdict. If they do Verdict, I'm going to put them down to 2. And draw... I guess I can only draw 2 cards, but that's fine. They're Flagstoning me? Sure, dude. Why is Cling to Dust in your deck against me? I guess you saw Wrenn, so you think you should have Cling to Dust in, but, like... Get that out. What are you doing? I don't use my graveyard. Cling to Dust is, like, to beat Wrenn is not a real... It's not a real thing. Ashiok Dreamrender? Little late on that one. I'm gonna be honest. A little... Touch late. Touch late. I'm gonna get the Mountain. Make some more Zombos. So now Sweeper is good, I guess. Yes, but opponent's at a really low life total. I mean, they have to have Verdict here to even stay in the game. Cryptic Tap's fine, but like they have to kill Dryad plus have Cryptic Tap. It's asking so much, and Ashiok really was not part of the plan of this turn that beats me. Alright, they're exiling my graveyard. Sure. Also, Wrenn Six is direct damage, so like I can just ping them twice if I draw it. Lethal Wrenn. Okay, they have another verdict. I mean, that was the start of a good turn for them. Not gonna lie. But they're gonna need this a lot. They're gonna need a lot of this. Because I'm making zombos. Ooh, Ghost Quarter. Well, let's start my turn by cracking a clue. See if we can get like a Wrenn Six here. Oh, a Veil of Summer, huh? That ain't bad. That is really not bad. I'm gonna make 2 2/2s. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll just pass. I mean, this is it. I'm making 2 2/2s a turn. You gotta answer it, opponent. This is on you now. I've got a Veil of Summer to stop crazy shenanigans from happening. I don't know exactly what that entails, but the craziest of the shenanigans will be stopped. What has opponent taken from me? So I've lost 1 Titan and 2 Dryads, and then my other Valakut's gone, but they're at 2, so I don't really need a second one. First one's mostly good enough. A Reclaimer. Reclaimer's not great. It's also not bad. I'm going to attack you. I hope you have removal spells. Oh, I was supposed to play Ghost Quarter. That was a punt. They might use this as a blocker, which is just really poor on my part, if I'm being honest. That said, I have the Veil here. Are you like... Yeah, not playing this Ghost Quarter was just atrocious on my part. It's so bad. Putting Verdict on top? What? You sure? You kind of need something right now. Is this just like a big typhoon? Okay. You got a 2/2, sure. What else we got? I hope your thing is not a black removal spell. Path Exile. Okay, that gets around my Veil. That's fair. That's fair. I'm going to put the Snow-Covered Forest in play and make 2 more Zombos. That's what I'm going to do. I do think I'm supposed to play this Ghost Quarter. Make them use the Verdict this turn. I'm going to make them do it. And now, I know their hand is Verdict plus 1 other card. They get to draw for turn. What is this? Another Typhoon? That's... You're verdicting. That can't be right. It makes no sense to cycle the Typhoon here. Just actual none. Honestly, the best chance they have of winning is probably hard casting the Typhoon here, if they had another Typhoon. Cling. Ah. Their own graveyard. Sure. Ashiok plus Cling as an engine. Actually kind of interesting. Are they milling themselves and just... Yeah, okay, so that's what they've been doing. They've been milling themselves instead of milling me, which does make sense, but also, like, eh. What are we doing here? This has to... Ooh, a Teferi? Well, now my Veil of Summer doesn't work, so here we are. I'm in a Veil in response. I do get to draw my card. Ooh, Eladamri's Call. That's really bad with an Ashiok in play. Really bad with an Ashiok in play. Attack you. Attack you. Attack you. Attack Ashiok. Attack Teferi. Doing it this way because I'm going to get Verdict, but at least this attack diversifies enough that they are forced into Verdicting. So there we are. Okay. I'm going to play my Reclaimer and a Flagstones of the Trocaire. At some point here, opponent's going to run out of Verdicts. And I've got the Ghost Quarter to stop the Sanctuary of the Lock if they're trying to Cryptic me. So, I like our spot. They've been fighting through, but there's a limit here. There is a limit here. They got 2 cards in hand. They have a fetch they cannot use. They're at 1. They're milling. Mill me. Oh, man, they hit all of my Dryads? No, just one of them. So I got 1 Dryad left and 2 calls. I guess not drawing the calls is pretty good. I'll take that. I do still have 2 lethal threats, though, which is pretty nice. A 3rd lethal threat. Very nice. Take those. So let's go to combat. Attack you. You got something here, my friend? If they animate Tar Pit, I will Ghost Quarter it. No, thank you. No blocks for you today. And then we got this sweet little Wrenn post-combat to just go ping, ping. Bing. Drown, okay. That's fair. What do we got here? Is this another Shark Typhoon? Feels like another Shark Typhoon. Feels like I've been holding this one for a minute. Oh, Cling. To gain 3. Ah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Does not save the opponent, though. Now we have other plans here. So I do not have lethal anymore, but opponent needs to have a counterspell here. They're gonna, or it's gonna get quite bad for them. I will ping Ashiok. Cast my Eladamri's Call. Let me get my... Oh, I could get Huntmaster. I'm gonna get Dryad of the Elysian Grove, though. Play a Dryad. And deal 3 damage to you. You. I think they've conceded. Alright, Wrenn looking really strong there. As it turns out, this card's busted for a reason. It's one of the best cards in Modern for a reason. Even without Wasteland, the card's that good. The 1 damage just always matters a little bit more than you think it will. It's like, however much you think the 1 damage matters, it's like a little bit more. Every time, without fail. Alright, back for round 3. I don't know this Artem Kutin person necessarily, but I feel like they're a pretty good player. Well, this is, I mean, this is what we're here for, right? This is literally, I mean, this was the idea, right? Reclaimer into Wrenn. We even got the Wooded Foothills to power everything up. This hand looks good. It looks pretty good. On the play, nonetheless. So, we can shock a Temple Garden and just fetch a mountain. I think that's reasonable. This has to be a red source in the hand. I think shocking Temple Garden... I can also play the Temple Garden tap later, though, and then just get a Stomping Ground here, and then cast Wrenn off Castle Garenbrig plus Stomping Ground. But I'm going to want to use all my mana, so this getting Mountain seems slightly better than me, because my turn 3 is going to be Explore into Activate Reclaimer, I think. So given all of that, I think Temple Garden is the best play here. I'm going to get Mountain next turn. That's my take. It is the take. Opponent played a Temple Garden. Interesting. Maybe they're playing Titan Vial. Let us find out. Ooh, another Wooded Foothills isn't really what you want to draw when you already have a Wooded Foothills and Wrenn in your hand, but we'll cope. We will indeed cope. Lightning Helix, my Elvish Reclaimer. What am I playing against? This has to be like a Bant control build, I would guess. I mean, I don't know what else it could really be. Alright, well now we got just a really quick Titan, which is super, super nice. Oh, we even drew the Flagstones. Brutal! We're gonna get the extra ramp into the cavern here too, although it's not clear opponent has a counterspell, so not really a big deal. Yep. I guess I could still play the Flagstones. Yeah, I'll still play it. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna fetch though, so I can use my Wrenn and get another land back. I think given that I can't do anything here, I should get Indatha. Although, like, Stomping Ground would also make sense here. The thing I'm definitely not getting Temple Garden. I think I should get Indatha. That's my read here. Man, Wrenn is messed up. I played a Planeswalker on turn 2, and opponent had a Lightning Helix that just could not kill my Planeswalker. Why? Why does Wrenn survive that? No one knows. Alright, so opponent is playing Naya Beats, and we've got Naya Primeval Titan. So one of these decks is going to be better than the other, I imagine. We'll find out which one, though. I was not supposed to play Flagstones. I was supposed to just fetch last turn. That was a clear mistake, because now I can't get value off Wrenn, but I don't know that it really matters if we're being honest. Because we got Titans. Titans for days. So what are we getting here? Well, I think we're definitely getting a Field of the Dead. That is 100% happening. The question is, what's the next card? I could buy Blast Zone, Bajuka Bog. Cavern doesn't make sense against a Naya deck. Not that we couldn't get it. I think I'm still just supposed to get a Valakut. It's just the land that does the most. And next turn opponent is just so beyond dead, it just doesn't even matter. We also have Wrenn here that's going to start going... Like, the Wrenn ult and just cast Explorer every turn is about to be real. About to be very, very real. Bloodbraid Elf... That's worse than Field of the Dead, my friend. I think maybe they cascaded and then conceded because they don't want to show me more cards in their deck. Oh no, my thing is just freezing. You don't love to see that. Alright, so we're back. Opponent didn't actually concede. My MTGO just started struggling, I guess. They hit a Lightning Helix, which, not great here for them. Alright, so I presume they're hitting me because I don't know how else they're winning other than burning me out. But I also just don't know how else they're winning. Because Field of the Dead versus things that attack on the ground without trample is just a joke. Like, Tarmogoyf used to be a $200 card in Modern because it was just so good, and now it's like, what are we even doing here, opponent? Why is this card in your deck? I don't know why this card was printed. I don't get it. No clue. So, it's probably best to fetch, although given that I am going to cast this Titan, I want to do a fetch after I get another Field of the Dead, and I think I'm supposed to Radiant Fountain here just because it's just opponent is just going to have no possible way to win this game outside of burning me out. So let's just stop that from being a real option. I mean, I could go like Fiddle the Dead plus Vesuva, but I think Radiant Fountain is going to give me a slightly higher win percentage. I mean, we're talking about being like 99.9% versus like 99.99% or something ridiculous, but like I think it's slightly higher, so it's worth making. That makes sense. It's just we're gonna have so many zombies, it just doesn't matter what opponent does here. Nothing they're doing matters anymore. I guess maybe I was supposed to. Yeah, I guess I just sequenced wrong. Given I was gonna get an attack phase, I'm supposed to attack and get Radiant Fountain on the attack. All right, I guess I would buy that. I just think none of this is gonna matter unless they have some crazy out to field here. And now I can start using Horizon Canopy to draw cards, which is kind of sweet. I guess Vesuva to copy field makes sense. I don't know. At some point, it's like 14 zombies versus. I maybe should have had 18 or something like that, or 20. I don't know. I don't think any of this actually matters if we're being honest with ourselves. That is a good block by the opponent. They have found a good trade there. I'll give them that. But yeah. I get to cast 4 Explorers next turn. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Seasoned Pyromancer. I mean, that's a really good card. Doesn't look that great in the face of Field of the Dead. No, I wanted to alt Wrenn and cast 4 Explorers. That was going to be so sweet. Oh, I hit the Dryad too, off my 4 Explorers. Oh, man. I have to resist making the Alex Bertoncini joke. I just can't. I can't do it. It's not okay. Must resist. Alright, so Path to Exile and Purge seem pretty good. Gargaroth seems quite good. Doesn't feel like a tracker matchup to me. Grazer does seem good. I think I can go down on Night of Autumn. Witness. Courser actually seems okay. I'm going to cut Oracle. I think I'm supposed to cut like 2 Wrenns too. Wrenn was good there, but not necessary. I'll cut 1 Purge. Reclaimer seems medium, but I think I'm still supposed to give it. I'm going to go down on a call. I just want to ramp, and opponent's not good at killing my threats, so 1 threat should be good enough. I think that's the idea. Okay, how do you feel about this hand? I think it's a keep. The question is it actually, like, is it good enough? I think it is. I think it is. I get to go turn 2 Wrenn. Hopefully they play something 1 toughness. Seems unlikely, but we've seen Tarmogoyf. Ah, Bolt. That's actually a pretty good draw. I can kill the next 4. I'm not going to shock. I could shock and leave a Bolt. And if their play was Goyf, I could kill it. But just not going to do it. I can also do this next turn if I want to. Like if they play Goyf here, I can just cast Explore into Bolt. Stoneforge Mystic. Ah. Now it makes more sense. And they're probably going to get like a Feast and Famine, which would be pretty good against me, but also like I've got red cards in my deck, so not that good against me. So what I think I want to do here is set up to blow out I want to set up to blow out an equip, and I need to kind of hope that it's not on a Goyf. But they're not getting that much value out of it. If they have Better Skull in their hand, it does make sense, but I think it's not all that likely that's the case. So I think it's more likely that they either attack here with Stoneforge, like attack Wrenn for 1, and play Stone, or just play the sword, or they like vial in the sword with Stoneforge and like play a tap land or something along those lines. And then when they go to equip it, I'm going to bolt their thing. Night of the Reliquary. Okay. It's a little scary. Not the end of the world though by any means. Ooh, Reclaimer's good. So what am I doing here? I think I'm casting Explore. Alright. Call was very, very good. I accept the call. Just gonna get normal forest. Play my Reclaimer. Plus get back my wooded foothills. And God, Wrenn is looking very, very nice here. So I think what's gonna happen here is opponent's gonna play a land, activate Stoneforge, put Feast and Famine on Knight, and then I'm gonna get to Bolt the Knight. Oh, actually this could get blown out. Oh, this is really bad for me. Knight can actually beat this, which really stinks now that I thought about it. I was supposed to just bolt it. Oh no. Because now they can activate and get a fetch land and then fetch, and now Knight survives bolt. Oh, why? Why do I make plays like this? It's not good. Oh. Okay, well now, I guess I could pop in response. Now I want to see what they do. Now I'm nervous. If they get a fetch land, yeah, yep. Mistakes have been made. Although, I guess I could just I would probably just kill. If they play Feast and Famine and go to equip on Stoneforge, I'm just going to bolt it. We've actually signaled that we don't have a bolt because we never killed the Knight. So it looks like we just don't have it, which kind of actually ends up working out here for us. So by playing bad, we have confused our opponent enough to make a good play. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Okay, so what are we doing here? Well, I'm thinking that how do we do this? So I can call for Dryad and start really ramping up, which sounds pretty good. Does that get me to field? Not quite, but it gets me close. But then next turn I can, yeah, I think that's going to be the best play. I'm going to call for Dryad, get 2 Reclaimers in play. It is somewhat annoying that opponent has like the Feast and Famine, but it the damage doesn't matter. They're more likely to use it to kill Wrenn, I think. But we are out of basic forests, which I don't love. But it's alright. I definitely want to get this Reclaimer in play, so I will take... Oh! I could have just tapped it. Oh, I can also just get a mountain. Nice. And tap for green. Wild. I'll get back the wooded foothills. I guess I'm attacking because I'm not blocking this when it gets the Feast and Famine on it. That's probably the case. Probably the case. Yeah, so I mean, next turn is going to be ridiculous. I think opponent is actually dead. If they don't kill Wrenn here, they die. Even if they kill Wrenn here, I activate... Yeah, no, they're just actually dead on board. They have to kill the Dryad or the game is just actually done. And if they do kill the Dryad, they're in it. But it's pretty unlikely they can kill me. They have to kill this Dryad or the game is actually just over. I mean, they have no outs to this. There's just actual none. You know, I wasn't expecting to have a Naya fight for superiority this round, but I guess it's interesting that we are having that. I don't know. Very strange. Yeah, I imagine they're going to hit me and then untap and do something, but... And 7's a lot, but they're just actually dead. Yeah, goodbye, Sacred Foundry. It was nice to know thee. So... I mean, opponent needs something here. Gotta be good, too. Can't be... Oh, they're just passing. Interesting. So, Maybe. Oh, we drew a second Dryad. That's real bad news for the opponent. That is really bad news for the opponent. Okay. So, I am supposed to sacrifice this to get a Valakut. It's going to start off nice and easy. Get a Valakut. 3 you. Is. I'm going to return my planes to my hand. Sacrifice this forest. We'll get another Valakut. 6 you. When it goes to 1. Always yield. Yes. You can concede, you know I have the planes, but even if you have like the thing that killed the Dryad here. Misclick. Apologies. I mean, I was going to do a lot of damage to you here. I don't know what the misclick was. I have 2 Blood Moons in hand. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Sorry about that, opponent. 6 you. 6 you. Didn't know they had 2 Blood Moons in hand. I'm not going to concede a game because opponent just says in chat they have 2 Blood Moons. Although I do probably... Like, I would lean more towards believing them, but... That's just not the play they made, so apologies. Alright. This deck's feeling good. It feels good so far, I'm not going to lie. I have been very impressed. Elvish Reclaimer and, like, the Elvish Reclaimer Flagstones thing hasn't come up. And Reclaimer's still just been very good to get Valakut and find the thing you need. And then just works really well with Dryad. And Wrenn has overperformed. That card's been excellent this league. But, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I kind of knew it was going to be excellent because the card is just actually excellent. So it's not a surprise, but whew. Alright, so how do we feel about this hand? This hand does cast a turn 2 Wrenn Six into a turn 3 Eladamri's Call. I have a Witness to get back Eladamri's Call. I don't have anything to get with Wrenn, but I think the hand's good enough that I can justify this. I would like... This hand would really like a Reclaimer. Drawing like a turn 1 Reclaimer would be amazing. Not a turn 1 Reclaimer, but Stomping Ground's not bad. Question is it better than just playing a tapped Valakut? I don't think it is. I think I'm still just supposed to play the Valakut. I think Valakut into Temple Garden is going to be the way to go here. You know what? This actually let me play turn 3 Reclaimer, so maybe that was wrong. Maybe I screwed that up. I might have screwed that up. I think it's fine, though. I think it'll end up being fine. So opponent, Wooded Foothills, Forest, still could be a lot of stuff. Breeding Pool, so feels probably like a deck playing Uro. Explore, probably Titan or a deck playing Uro. Could be Scape Shift. I could see Scape Shift. Or Wreck. Scape Shift, Wreck. Some Uro build, something like that. Seems likely it's one of those things. So, what does this mean for me? I don't think it changes all that much. I kept a pretty slow start, which isn't great here. But, not the end of the world either. I'm definitely not going to ping. I would like to get closer to a Wrenn alt against a deck that could have counterspells in it. Fierce Empath. Now I don't know. Titan? Probably Primeval Titan would be my guess. Alright, another Titan mirror. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, given that I can't really stop what opponent's doing here, I do think I'm supposed to kill the empath because it's just going to keep pinging my Wrenn anyway, and I can't plus it back. I need to get a Dryad and play it next turn. I think that's how I win this game. I don't think my chances of winning are very good at the moment, but I think that's how I win, if I do win, is getting Dryad, then E-Witnessing for a Titan. I already have the Valakut, so my Dryad at least does something. I really need to hope opponent doesn't have Castle Garenbrig this turn. I am not winning it. Alright, perfect. Just thinking, you know what would be great is if they had Castle Garenbrig this turn. Yeah, they had the Explorer. They were on the play. I mean, that matters a lot in these Titan mirrors. And maybe that's you know, signification that my build is bad, that it needs more Explorers. If we're gonna be playing this many Titan mirrors, I could buy it. Oh no, please. Okay, I thought I passed through this turn. I was gonna say, please no. Please don't have done that. So I still think I need to get Dryad. I don't think I can win the game unless I get Dryad, but I think if I do get Dryad, I have a chance, albeit a pretty bad one, but it's a chance. Oh boy, so this isn't great. I don't think anybody's telling you it's great. It's definitely not great, in fact. But I can play some tapped lands and bog the opponent. And then plus my Wrenn. I guess. Wrenn hasn't looked good here. This is an example of maybe we don't have enough fetch lands for Wrenn. Or maybe I was supposed to mulligan the hand. I don't know. I think... Oh my god, another Titan? Yeah, not sure how we're going to win this. Oh, they got... Oh no, now I'm actually dead. Yep. Dryad kills me. Alright, so opponent really had all the things there. Fierce Empath looked pretty good for them. Not much I could have done there, necessarily. It doesn't actually seem like they are the type of deck where Damping Sphere is necessarily great against. I think that's interesting. I could bring in Damping Sphere, though. I think I'm going to cut a Wrenn and a Gargaroth. Those cards just are not very good. I think Tracker's okay, but really it's about being fast. I think I am going to bring in the Damping Spheres and cut the Tracker. I think that's where I'm going to go, and just hope I have a faster hand here. Kind of feels like I'm dumb for just not having more Explorers. Like, this deck should probably be playing 4 Explorers. I think that's probably the case. And maybe these calls should just be Summoner's Packs. I could buy that. I don't have any non-green creatures I'm tutoring for outside of exactly Avian Mind Sensor. I guess Eidolon Rhetoric, but those are the type of cards where I could deal with losing them. Alright, game 2, we've got a hand that has 6 lands. And a Titan, which isn't a bad hand in these kind of mirrors. It's like, okay, but you really want some sort of acceleration. My plan of cast a turn 6 Titan, not going to be good enough. This hand's actually good. This hand's quite good, in fact. And I need to decide what the bottom is between Knight and Eladamri's Call. I think it's a clear Knight here. I'm going to bottom the Knight. Having 2 planes is a little annoying, but I think it's fine. So, best draw in my deck is, next turn, is probably Flagstones of Trocare. In fact, I think Flagstones of Trocare would just be an incredible draw. It would actually just be an incredible draw. Even if I don't draw Flagstones, I think I'm still activating Reclaimer to get a Flagstones. Let's go! Let's go! The best draw! Oh, that feels good. That feels good. Alright. So, what are we getting? I'm going to wait on this. I think waiting is okay. Probably getting a Valakut. I could get a Ghost Quarter. Probably getting a Valakut, though. No reason to go now. It's instant speed. Like, I can leave these up. There's not that many things opponent's going to do on 2 that punish me. So I think it's fine. God, that's so good. Explore. Yeah, Explore's fine. Don't mind Explore. Oh, no. I know what I'm getting. I'm getting another Flagstones. That's how this works. This gets nutty, people. This gets nutty quick. Opponent even has a turn 3 Titan here, presumably. Which is good for them. But this is kind of the dream with this deck. I mean, this is the 2-card combo you want. Alright, I would like to use this ability, yes. I guess Indatha Triome? Sure. Having drawn 2 planes is a little annoying, but not the end of the world. And we're going to get another Flagstones. Nice. Ooh, Gruul Turf is actually quite good. So I get to play... Oh, I got to tap for green mana, huh? Should probably do that. Play a Dryad of the Elysian Grove. And here is where things get a little unfortunate for the opponent. Well, maybe more than a little. Quite unfortunate, I'll say. Yeah, it's gonna be bad for them. Do I just have lethal? I don't think I have lethal. Wait, do I? No. If they take 1 damage, I have lethal, which is just absolutely wild. Alternatively, I can also just Eladamri's Call here. And cast a Titan next turn and get 2 Valakutes, which does... They both see each other 18... Or no. Is that right? No, 12. Right? It's 12. That's worse, though, I think, than just Reclaimer-ing. Because if I get if I activate Reclaimer here, sacrifice Flagstones, I get another Plains and a Valakut, and then next turn I can activate again, get a Valakut, 6. So the 3 puts them to 19. That Valakut hits 6s and puts them to 13. And then I can play Gruul Turf 6U, 7, Gruul Turf 6U, 1. So if opponent takes 1 damage, I have them. And the Radiant Fountain actually matters here, which is wild, because you would not think it matters, and there's no way they planned on it. It's just one of the cards they randomly drew. Frustrating. But this is crazy, right? I had a hand that just had Flagstones, Elvish Reclaimer, Dryad, and I'm going to deal 21 damage on my opponent's turn 4. Like, that's just going to happen. That's ridiculous. Well, yep, opponent gets to play a Primetime here. But I think this is actually the game. I don't think they realize how bad this is about to get for them. And given that they use Summoner's Pact, they have to pay for it next turn, which is going to be an issue. I just have their Primetime killed. Right now, I can just kill it. Given all of that, and that I'm going to be slightly far away from lethal, I do think I'm probably supposed to... Like, I can't kill them either way, so it's probably better for me to just cast Primeval Titan next turn, is kind of my read on this. So I think I am actually supposed to Eladamri's Call here instead of activating Flagstones. Because, I mean, Primeval Titan in play is just better than a lot of what's going on. But I think it should be noted that opponent is quite close to dying here. I think that should be noted. I would like a Primeval Titan, please. Thank you. Ooh. So... yeah, I mean, I'm just going to play this. not going to fetch because I actually just don't need to. I can tap it for green. But a Primeval Titan in play. Like 2 Valakutes, please. 3, 3, 6, and 6. Always yield. Yes. Yes. I need to always yes this as well. Always yes. Yes. I said always yes. Yes. How good is my attack here? It's really just fine. I do think I'm supposed to bounce a Valakut here. 6U, 6U. I'm bouncing Valakut specifically to protect it from opponent having like something crazy like 2 Ghost Quarters, because I'm gonna have lethal next turn by just playing it. And I guess I'll leave something back. I still think it's really unlikely opponent can kill me through a Summoner's Pact this turn, but maybe. Also, after watching them, I think I've made a pretty big error bringing in... they have another Summoner's Pact. So, they're going to get a Dryad, and it's going to be decent. But I guess they do have 2 land drops, so they can 12 me. If they don't kill my Primeval Titan, though, it's going to be pretty bad news for them, I think. Well, they get to kill both my things with just Simic Growth Chamber. That's pretty annoying. And we're actually out of stuff here, too, so this is kind of bad. This is kind of bad for us. I guess I was supposed to save the bounce land, too. I think I screwed that up. Yikes. Might lose now. I actually need a top deck. I think I screwed this turn up. Reclaimer is not the top deck that I was looking for. So I was really close to lethal, and now I've missed it. And now I think I'm going to lose. Very unfortunate. Alright. Can I actually get enough mountains? I don't think I have quite enough mountains in my deck. Shame. I do think I need to field here, though. I don't think I can win if I don't. Their graveyard doesn't really matter. Blast sounds okay, but not good enough. Well, it does feel like the only thing that matters here is Dryad, and opponent had a good turn there where they got to Summoner's Pact twice. If they have a Titan here, I am definitely dead. If they don't, I maybe have a chance. Okay, so just some lands give me a redraw. If opponent doesn't have Titan and they just have lands, I get redraws. Which it is... Oh no, they get to pick up the Teleria West. So they're probably transmuting this turn and Titaning me next turn would be my guess. So I do have a shot here to draw an out to the Dryad. At the very least. What happened to the other trigger? Huh, I don't know. And I assume this is a pact. Pact of Negation? Interesting. Do they just have it? I don't understand the Pact of Negation. Why don't you just get a Summoner's Pact? I guess they're stopping me from drawing Titan this turn. That's kind of their plan.
Because I'm just losing. I mean, I can't... there's like no way I'm beating a pack negation here. I need to draw... I don't know what I need to draw. Wren's not a bad draw. It's not great either, but it's not bad. I think I need to attack, which stinks, but I think I'm supposed to. Yep. So, I mean, an opponent has to have a Titan here, right? Why else would you get pack negation? Just doesn't make sense for them to have literally anything else. Okay, they naturally drew the Titan. That makes sense. Oh, Fierce Empath. So now they can cast Titan. Okay, this does make sense. Yeah, this just kills me, right? They just get, like, any lands and I die. Alright, I know opponent has a land drop. They've been bouncing a ton of lands. I'm just going to concede. Dead to the triggers. So, I think I lost to just having a less consistent way to find Titan, and that is a real issue with this deck. My Titans don't find more Titans, and opponents' decks often do with Teleria West. So maybe that's the direction this deck is supposed to be going. Definitely a good learning point. They got to chain their Titans into more Dryads. We actually had a better start that game, and then still lost because their deck was better at chaining Titan into another good spell than ours was. This hand's not great, but I do think it's a keep. I think it's a keep. We're on the play. This actually serves as a ramp spell in the deck. It's like a slow ramp spell, but it does work. We have a lot of good draws. Any ramp spell is going to make it better. I think I'm just going to get basic forest. No, I'm supposed to get stomping ground. I'm definitely supposed to get stomping ground. It can fix, but I'd rather just be able to cast stuff. Like especially a Wrenn. Like I'd like to play my Radiant Fountain next turn, sack it, put a Flagstones in play. Then the next turn sack the Flagstones, get like a Cavern of Souls. Okay, Canopy's not a bad draw either. It's not, like, amazing, but it's fine. Certainly not attacking. It feels like I'm playing as blue-white control, but this card is one of the better cards against them. It's just absolutely excellent. Could be, like, a Bant control or a blue, just straight blue-white. Watcher for tomorrow? Okay. Feels maybe like a blue-white blink now. This could also be Soul Herder. Like a Restoration Angel deck makes sense. Interesting for sure. But yeah, could be any of those. Could be any of those things. So Dryad of the Elysian Grove would be excellent here, as is sort of always the case with that card. Okay, that's not bad. That's actually just totally fine. So what am I doing? I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna sack the Flagstones, so I'm probably just playing this one. Yeah, this seems fine to me. I'm going to sack the flagstones, get a temple garden. Probably. I was going to say, they should not attack there. I actually just have a 3-4 blocker. This card has just been really, really good with flagstones. Keep in mind, I did not have flagstones in this opening hand. This is all just based on the fact that it can find it, if that makes sense. I guess Indatha Triome is slightly better. And I'm going to get another flagstones. We are ramping our way up. Jeez. We are on Reclaimer, Mono Reclaimer action. They're just 3-4s. They're going to beat. They're going to be doing the beat. The beating. Opponent just conceded. We just cast Reclaimers and sacked Flagstones. And that was all we needed. That's wild. Jeez. So this one was going to sacrifice... I'm going to tap Ghost Quarter and Flagstones to sacrifice, get another land and a Flagstones. Then this one sacrifices the second Flagstones I get to get another land and the last Flagstones. Maybe I just get Cavern and then just cast Primeval. I probably would just get Cavern and then cast Primeval Titan next turn. That would be my assumption. So I'm going to board these in. Gargadon seems pretty bad. I guess it has reach, so it's like not terrible, but I also don't like really like it. I'm going to cut Gargadon, cut Grazer, just kind of run it back like this. I could see boarding in Lightning Bolt and Path and Huntmaster. All these seem reasonable here, but also I didn't see very much from their deck other than Watcher, which is kind of random. Well, isn't this a hand? Holy cow, this is a good one. This is a good one. We got just value engines everywhere. We've got acceleration. Yeah, this hand is nice. And this is kind of what I mean by, like we were talking about on the podcast yesterday about can this deck beat, like, Aether Gust. If opponent has a lot of Aether Gust, can we beat it? And it feels to me like if I'm doing Wrenn plus Tracker plus, like, all of these things, we're going to be able to do that. I mean, I think that's just the case, if that makes sense. And Wrenn plus Tracker is messed up. That alone will be able to beat my opponent's deck if they can't answer those things. And if they are using cards like Aether Gust to answer them, then my Primeval Titan is definitely going to beat them, because Primetime does do that. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, so a Stoneblade deck playing Watcher of Tomorrow or whatever. I guess this is like a Stoneblade deck that just has Restoration Angel. That's the thing that seems to make sense to me. I don't actually know, but that's what I would assume is happening here. Just going to get this beautiful snow-covered forest here. Put a Wrenn Six into play. Plus my Wrenn Six, get another land back in my hand because Wrenn Six is amazing. And next turn I can go Dryad plus Explore. No, I can't do that. I lied. Cannot do that. That would be really good if I could do that, though. It would be quite good if I could do that. Well, given I can't do that, what's the best play here? Realistically, I'm probably just supposed to play Tracker. No, it's gotta be Dryad. Dryad's the best thing here, right? Just, like, not close. I guess in case this got countered, I was supposed to play Foothills so I could get Wrenn value. I think I screwed that up. Queller. Yikes. Don't love that. Alright, well, we have screwed this turn up, I think. Not happy about how I played that turn. Not happy about how I played that turn. I should just have another land in my hand. It'd be one less life. But that's alright. Not the end of the world. Attacking me? That's wild. I do wish I had brought in my lightning bolts now. Kind of upset I didn't. But, you know, we didn't know what they were doing. It seemed to me like there could have been a lot of things, and, you know, I'm not positive how good bolt would be there, so I'm not mad that I didn't, but, yeah. Definitely seems like I was supposed to. I am going to explore here. So I think I'm getting Batterskulled. But I'm going to play my tracker. That's not changing. Okay. Get a land back. Fair enough. So I can cast Titan next turn. They probably have an answer to it, but I can do it. Really hoping this is not Feast and Famine and that it is Batterskull, like they searched for. Fire and Ice. Well, that's also pretty bad. But it's still better for me than Feast and Famine. I will say that. Still better than Feast and Famine. Bad, but better than Feast and Famine. My tracker is going to get no value, which is a shame. It is a shame. Now, if they have like land plus gust here, that's kind of a pretty big disaster, I will say. Oracle of Mooly Dooley, huh? So I'm taking 6 a turn from this, so fetching doesn't actually like drop the clock. Given that's the case, I'd rather get the value on Wrenn because next turn I can explore like 20 times. Opponent's plan of just completely ignore Wrenn 6. Interesting. Interesting plan. Ugh, I have to take more damage. I don't like this. Out of basics for Wrenn. Yikes. Do not like this. So, will a Radiant Fountain like do very much? Oh, I can actually get a Blast Zone. Does that save me? I think it doesn't, and I should try to race. But I think it is interesting. I'm presenting 14, which is close. It is close. I do think opponent's going to race. Man, Blast Zone would have been really good here. If I just had a way to untap it. The problem is, like, they also just have Field of Ruin, so it's not even like... Reflector Mage? What is opponent's deck? This is wild. So I'm going to end up losing to the Sword of Fire and Ice, but I have a lot of things that save me here. And also, if opponent doesn't shock Wrenn, I get to explore a bunch of times, which could maybe matter. I think they're probably supposed to shock Wrenn here, given that this is lethal next turn. They shocked the zombie? Well, that's certainly not right. Okay. I do accept. So... how do I want to do this turn? I think I need to start it by playing Oracle. Maybe I was just supposed to immediately explore. Eladamri's Call. Perfect. So I'm gonna tap green, white. It doesn't really matter. Explore. I'll discard Vesuva. I think. Maybe it's Wooded. No, it's Wooded Foothills. I'll discard Wooded Foothills. white. Eladamri's Call. I need to get the Knight of Autumn. Oh, there's Dryad on top of my library too. That's amazing. So I have a land off Explore. Makes 2 zombies. And I have 2 land drops from Oracle. I don't think I've played a land yet. I have not. Okay. So I'm going down to 4, but they don't have a Sword of Fire and Ice. We know they have a Batter Skull, so it's not likely they have Feast and Famine. Feast and Famine kills me if they have land, but if they don't have land, it still doesn't kill me. I guess I'm attacking. Opponent's like a lot dead next turn. I just need to untap. That's where we're at. So I'm drawing Dryad, and then Dryad plus Titan here is just so many lethal. So many lethals. Meddling Mage. Okay. That is a card that does something. I don't think it saves you though, opponent. So let's say I attack with everybody here. 16, they can block 3. So I deal 14, right? They're just dead on board. I have 20 power attacking, they can block 6 of it. And they have to block with Mage, so they just die. Right? Guess I'm gonna play this off the top of my library. I may as well. Just clear the library. Do the same with this one. Definitely not paying life, that would kill me. Now attack with all of the things. Yep, I was going to say. It's a lethal attack, but even if they had something, then they had to block with Meddling Mage. It dies, and then I get to Titan plus that, and that's a 4-1. With one loss being to the Mirror, where we lost the die roll game 1, we even won in game 2. This deck feels like there's something here. I think this is something worth working on, and it's something I'm going to put some more time into, because I am interested to see how good it can be going forward. Wrenn Six is a messed up card. And Elvish Reclaimer there, like you saw it, there was a game where the only card I cast, the only spell I cast the whole game is Elvish Reclaimer, and it won the game by itself, because it's kind of messed up a Field of the Dead, as it turns out. So, I think this deck's good. Wrenn Six pulled its weight. I think there's a lot of tuning to be done. I don't know about the Eladamri's Call tutor package. That feels like it could be loose. Unsure of that. But the rest of the package the rest of the deck felt really good. That core of Reclaimer, Wrenn, Dryad, Titan feels strong to me. And I think the question is, how can we tune the rest? And I think there's an opportunity here to go into like a 4-color build that is like using Wrenn and Dryad and Titan to kind of fix your mana, and we can play Teleria West and Uro too. I think those would be good additions. We could even play like one of Hydroid Crisis if we wanted to. And then move towards like a Summoner's Pact build. I think that's a good place to go. We could play more Explorers. It feels like there's a lot of options here, and they all seem pretty good to me. So I think we should try it out. Also, the Triomes with Flagstones is interesting, because you can get Indatha as just a green-white one. Which I probably would move away from, but you could get Raugrin with it to fix blue and red if we wanted to go like the Wrenn plus Uro route. That's not crazy. So, a lot of places to go there. And remember, if you like this video, please share and subscribe to the channel. Retweets are really appreciated. Anything you want to say on social media, very appreciated. And if you want to leave a comment to suggest anything I may have missed with the deck, I'm always in the comments answering questions, so happy to have it. And with that, I'll talk to you guys next time.